Hey, welcome to the road, my friends. I am on my way to a shoot 2 hours from my main location. So I thought this would be a good time to touch base with you guys. And oh look, I don't think you can see this. Oh, I just killed a bunch of bees. I went through a bee honey farm. And oh my gosh, that was not planned. Can you see this? I don't know if you can. There's like a bunch of dead bees on the front there. So, oh my gosh, there was honeybees. There was honey keepers, beekeepers, is that what they're called? All in their bee suits. And all these bees went across the road and I just hit every single one that was in the way of my car. Crud. That was not cool. I just took away some honeybees, but they shouldn't be crossing the road. So I wanted to touch base with you guys on my way to a shoot 2 hours from my main location. So I thought this is a time to talk about stuff that's going on in the camera business. So first of all, I am shooting this on the Canon R7. I'm not looking at it because I'm looking at the road right now. And I am shooting with the 10-16 millimeter for the EFS mount on the adapter for the R7, the USR system. And so I should be at the, that's right, 10 millimeter. So 10 millimeter, which is equivalent to a 16 millimeter on a full frame. But a ton lighter than putting on my 15-35 on my Canon R6, so this is a lot nicer. People have been asking me, mostly online, you know, do I still like the Canon R7? Is it something that I'm glad I bought? And I will tell you this, if this camera did not have unlimited recording, I would have never bought it. And even after buying it and using it, I still wouldn't buy it if it did not have unlimited recording, because I have a really nice Canon R6 full frame, works super well. I probably would have leaned towards the Canon R5C, probably as an option instead, a hybrid like that. But the unlimited recording is awesome. I have shot over 5.5 hours consecutively plugged in. No overheating, so I could say personally, had this for 3 weeks, no overheating, unlimited recording in 4K fine, which is the best quality you can, which is what I have right now. I'm not shooting it in log though, I'm shooting it in standard profile, and it seems to be picking up my face just fine. It is a 5.6 aperture right now, 1/60th shutter, and ISO is 200. So I was on CanonRumors.com today, and before I was even on that, for the last 3 weeks after I've had this camera, the moment I got it, I thought, how does this do unlimited recording and the Canon R6, R5, R3 cannot? Because all you would have to do is punch in to a crop on a full frame on an R5, R6, only utilize that part of the sensor, and you wouldn't get overheating, just like you don't get overheating on the R7 right now because it is a smaller sensor. So if you could utilize just that part of the sensor, you could do unlimited recording. Also, even if you couldn't do that, why couldn't you dummy it down to 1080p and do unlimited recording? There's virtually no reason why you couldn't do that and still not even get any overheating issues. So what I saw on CanonRumors.com this morning didn't surprise me. It kind of disappointed me because I hope that it does come to fruition and it does include the R6. Because if it doesn't, I might dump the R6 and go to the R5 for this reason. So Canon Rumors is talking about a firmware update specifically for the R5 and the R3 to happen next week. They're going to have more information, and it is specifically going to be for video. my thought the moment I got the R7 in my hands over 3 weeks ago was that it is completely possible and easy. I'm not an engineer, so I'm just saying it's easy, but I don't know. In theory, is easy to update the firmware in an R6 even, but they're talking about R5 and the R3, and do unlimited recording, so past that 29:59 timeline and going past 30 minutes and beyond, and probably updating the meter to be more like the R7. The meter right now will show you how many bars it's at for overheating, and it will show you early on so you can kind of get a heads up. I've seen the bars on the R7. I have not had any issues with overheating though. Even at full bars, after about 4 hours of recording, it did not even shut down or ruin the camera. It just kept going. It was awesome. So I'm thinking the R5 and the R3, and for sure the R3, can do unlimited recording already, but I'm wondering if they're going to update the metering on that. So it already can go past that. So I'm wondering if we're going to see the R5 get unlimited recording, that the signal of overheating shows up on there as well. And I'm hoping, if that is the case, I'm hoping that the R6 is soon to follow, because I would be glad to switch to 1080p unlimited recording for some of my event stuff that I don't need a full 4K resolution. So that's my hope, that we will see and there will be progression. I've been really happy with Canon since the launch of the USR. I got it the day it was released. I don't even know how many years ago that was now. At least 4 years ago, I think, that the USR was released. I have since sold that because I have the R6 and the R7. Sometimes I do miss the EOS R. It was a great camera. It did not overheat, but it also cropped in. So that's the other thing. Why, and I mentioned this earlier in this video, but why couldn't we take the R6, R5, and crop in to a 1.6 and not have any overheat issues in 4K and also do unlimited recording? So I think that would be the best way to go. I think the R5, I do not own an R5. I believe the R5 you can crop in and it doesn't have overheating issues, but it does have the time limit, which is an issue. But I think these firmwares can be updated. So the point I was trying to get at is the Canon EOS R system at launch started doing updates, firmware updates, almost a couple times a year, keeping up, which makes me hopeful that they are trying to compete well with Sony and also with the Lumix GH5, GH6, which has continuous updates as well. And so it's becoming more film-like, and I really love that about it. But again, if they do this update where there's going to be unlimited recording, even if it has a little cripple hammer, right, to it, and you have to crop in, or your resolution has to be a little bit less, even if it's 2.5K, that would be amazing. I would jump to the R5 and sell my R6 for that. I would hope that if this is the case, that they can do this update, that the R6 will get it eventually as well. But we will hang on and see what happens next week with the launch of the new firmware. I'm really excited about this. I will continue to be using the R7. I've been using the R7 like nonstop since I got it on launch, which was over 3 weeks ago. Using it for a lot of video. I've been doing tests. I still have a final review to be shot out, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I have a final review that will be coming up. Also, I have speed boosters that I've been using, and I'm just going to say it, the lens that I will be reviewing, and I ended up buying after renting it because it's amazing, is the Tamron 35-150, and on a speed booster, instead of a 2.8 to a 4, it becomes a 2 to a 2.8, which is phenomenal. It is amazing. The depth of field, or the shallow depth of field that you get on that lens, all the way up to 150 millimeters, is amazing. And it's not even only on video, photos, portraits, amazing. And then you can stop down to 5.6 and it is really super sharp. And then just put it on the R6 on a full frame at the 20 megapixels. It is a sharp lens as well. It is so good. So let me know what you think about this Canon rumor. I thought even before they brought it up that this was definitely going to happen down the line, especially what they could do with this R7. So leave some comments below what you think. I mean, you can be pessimistic. Just don't disrespect anybody in the comments. But you can be pessimistic if you think Canon's going to do nothing, because we've all been disappointed before by Canon. But they've been doing a lot more lately, and I'm very hopeful. And if that is the case, and you have an R6 and they don't update the R6, and they only do it to the R5 and the R3. R3, again, already has unlimited recording. The R5 doesn't. Would you switch to the R5 instead of the R6? I would be curious to hear that as well. So leave a comment below if you haven't already. Please like and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Have a great day.